Start recording. The March 30th, 2018 Small Business Accounting Advisors. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
So, Good Friday today.
It is.
And the countdown to when taxes are due.
Yes.
Mischa's given everybody an extra week this week, or this week coming up, to bring the rest of the stuff in. Dennis, how about you?
I'm not kidding when I say I put everybody in extension.
April 1st was always the deadline for me when I did it. April 1st. You don't have your stuff by me by April 1st, automatic extension, and then you go in a pile and you get done as I can do it.
Some of my CPA friends, when I talked to them at lunch last week, they were using like March 15th.
Wow.
Of course, they have bigger practices than I do. So.
Wow, but still, that's a whole month. And on April 15th, we closed. We closed and locked the doors. The only people that were allowed in were those picking up when we were ready.
Well, as a practical matter, October 15th is the real stress deadline because there is no more deadlines after that.
Right. Extension.
And like I rarely file mine before October 12th or 13th, so I always like to get caught up in the.
I used to yell at my clients for filing in October. If you don't know what your taxes are until October, how can you plan the following year? Right? You've already gone all the way through to October doing what you did the prior year. And
I'm just kind of lazy.
You know yours though, Dennis. You don't even need to do your taxes to know what taxes are due to you.
Yeah. So it takes me like maybe about a half hour to do my tax return. So I figure I'm not getting paid to do my taxes. I get paid to do other people's taxes. So
they get done last.
I know a lot of CPAs are like that. They just wait till the last minute for their own returns.
Yep.
So speaking of next year's taxes, how many, and I've seen this question on the different Facebook groups, but how many people are sharing with their clients about what it looks like about meals and what it looks like about entertainment?
Well, the thing about meals is that's still kind of a up in the air discussion. About 2/3 of the accountants think that they are deductible, about another third think they aren't. And they're looking for some technical guidance from the IRS.
And we had that discussion about dues and subscriptions.
We did.
We had it off air, though, where we actually looked it up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think what's going to happen is people are just going to basically force the IRS to make a decision. They'll just take them and then let the IRS, say no.
Yeah. I got an official email from one of my client CPAs, and he's saying all meals now are 50%. If you go out with a client, that's 50%. If it's travel meal, it's 50%. If you buy meals for your employees because you're having a safety meeting or you're trying to
Christmas party, summer picnic.
Actually, Christmas party, I think they said no.
Hold on. I just got a note on that.
So, pretty much figure 50%. And I put for entertainment, I put it in as a category, but I put it in as an other expense, which puts it below the bottom line, so that if somebody puts it in as entertainment. Oh, and I also put entertainment parentheses, either 0 or non-deductible, as part of the name, so that they
know that. Yeah.
Well,
if they change their mind and make it deductible, we can move it above the line and change the other words.
Well, the big thing for next year is going to be the QBI, qualified business income, and the 20%. And if you qualify for that, and if you're a service business, and blah 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 blah. So that's going to be because that's where you're going to be able to save a lot of money. So you have to structure it properly. And
unless you're an accountant.
What does that mean?
Well, actually, accountants are considered to be service businesses. So
but I thought that they were disallowed.
They are. I think they fall within the. I mean, I'm not positive. I haven't really gotten into it yet. That's an after-tax season topic. But I know with like the software I have now, it does a projection, there's a summary page that has like this year's taxes and then what they would have been if you'd use the same data under the 2018 rules. And from what I've seen, most people are going to save money. Their taxes are going to go down. In some cases.
No.
And the other thing is that the child tax credit doesn't phase out until like about 400 some odd thousand. So there's not like right now it phases out a certain level. I think it's 100. I can't remember, 150 something like that, 110, 150,000 where it phases out.
More people qualify.
So from what I've seen, the people that lose the money on the dependents are going to gain it back to a large extent with the expanded child tax credit.
Got it.
Because you're losing like your $4,000 per dependent deduction.
Right.
But it's going to be made up to a large extent with the enhanced child care credit of $2,000. And also the rates are going down.
Yeah.
I mean, the brackets are expanding and their rates are going down. So it's kind of like about 3 or 4 different variables kind of go in there. So it's really kind of hard to see.
I know. It's going to be hard to tell what your taxes are going to be.
You really
I actually put a payroll calculator in the small business.
I saw that.
So somebody posted, where is it? Why is my PDF thingy not working today? Somebody posted, here it is. Somebody posted this neat little chart. Let me see if I can share my screen with you.
Great.
It's a PDF. I'll give it to you. I think they posted it in the bookkeeping group. So
nice.
That chart under the new reform, and you were saying what? That entertainment-related meals was 50%? That was last year. There's no more deduction for that.
Well, that's the thing that's, I think that's still kind of up for debate.
But until we get
anything new,
you have to go by what it says.
That is office holiday parties or picnics are still 100% deductible.
Right.
Yeah.
And then client business meals. So now you have to separate on your, when you do it, you're separate. You have to separate out if it's entertainment or if it's a meal.
Yeah, so, maybe that's the one.
I usually on the chart of accounts have meals 50%, meals 100%. But I did include entertainment with the meals.
But now instead of just saying it as entertainment, you're going to have to specify that it's a holiday or party, office holiday party or picnic.
Right.
And then you have your transportation to and from that didn't change, but now sporting events. That's gone.
Well, I'm not surprised about that.
And it's just,
see, there's the club memberships. Dues and subscriptions are not necessarily clubs unless it's a business club.
Right.
So if you belong to a chamber, if you belong to a business group, you are still, as long as it's not a club, you're still allowed to take the deduction.
Yeah. So this is where it's going to be a little tricky.
The word club.
Right. What would be a club? Say like
a country club membership.
Oh, so
that's what I consider a club.
Maybe even Toastmasters. I used to deduct Toastmasters dues as a business expense.
I've been doing that.
Put association dues, right? Like, or business association dues or something like that versus, because that says business pleasure, right?
So this is our clubs organized for business, pleasure, recreation, or other social.
Yeah.
So including club organized for business.
So business would be a chamber of commerce.
How about the Rotary?
I would say that would be.
So here's where I think this is where we'll need to look at the actual citation and see what it really means. And get hard clarification on that. Now, here is this part. Before, this is meals provided for convenience of employer. That was 50%. I mean, it was 100%.
Now it's
50%, and in 2025, it's going to be no longer deductible. So, and then you have, specific. Even this.
Yeah.
Wow,
So
really?
that, we've been putting that under
Should always be 100%.
So.
And then these ones didn't change, like the meals in the office during a meeting, meals for travel, meals at a seminar and stuff. Those are still the same. But now meals included in a charitable sporting package is only 50% deductible.
Right.
So, and then the rest, those, the rest of these didn't change. So those are, they're still good. And then
I'm glad they put a lot of thought into this. It's kind of like,
yeah, it literally and then it kind of goes. It's like 4 pages long. So
if you put the link in the chat.
Actually, I have it as a PDF. I think it'll probably be easier if I emailed it to you.
Okay, that works.
Would that work better?
I just wanted to include it with the video when I put it up.
Can I save I don't have a link to it.
Well,
because I grabbed it, somebody posted it as a document in the USA bookkeeping group.
Got it.
And so I downloaded it.
You can post it as a document in our group, SBAA.
Yeah, I can upload it there. Is that better?
Yes.
Will that work for YouTube too? Will people have a link over to our SBAA?
Well, if she puts it in the group, then the YouTube video will be there too, and I'll put that link in there too.
Yeah, because then she can link to the document in the group, and okay.
That's a beautiful document too. I love the way it's done. I'm going to present that to my clients, I think.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That is a good idea. So I wanted to mention new phishing scam for CPAs. CPAs are getting letters from potential clients. I need help. The IRS is beating down my door. Let me send you some documents. They send you documents that have malware in them, and they are able to capture clients' information, social security numbers, et cetera, whatever you have on your computer.
Well, I would be these sort of unsolicited documents that they're sending out. I mean, are they contacting you and saying, please, if you're interested, please contact me and I'll send you the documents? Or are they just sending documents as an email attachment?
Sending documents as an email attachment. I have a problem with the IRS. I need your help. Here's the documents. Check them out.
I would be very suspicious of something like that.
I know a lot of CPAs that would not. That would automatically open those documents.
First of all, anybody that would send something as an email attachment to, because I would assume they're not sending.
No, Dennis.
I would assume they're not sending it just to me. I figured they're probably
sending it to other people too.
Yeah, and I would be very skeptical.
Well, your suspicious nature will keep you safe.
Hopefully.
Let me say that.
Guess it's the fraud examiner in me that.
But here's the thing. Folks are just nosy. People will send people stuff and they will just click. I know people. My sister loves to click and open stuff. I'm like, do you even know this person? Why are you? No. If you are not, if I don't have you as a contact in my email address book, I am not emailing. I mean, even companies that I use normally, and they send me a link, say, click here and bring your account. No, I'm going to.
You're right. I do.
I'm going to go directly to the website that I usually sign into and sign in. I'm never linking to my account through a link that I get in the email.
Mischa,
yeah.
That's what a class, Byron, I forget his last name. He was teaching at QBC, and exactly what he said. He even had a beef with a major bank that sent out an email that said, click inside. And he called him up and he said, that's not what you should be telling your customers to do. You should go to the website, go to the actual source.
Instructions.
Exactly. I love what you said. I almost spit this out, honey.
and I tell my clients, and here's an interesting thing. My tax clients love to send me documents by email. No. Don't ever send me a 1099 by email. Don't send me a W-2. Don't send me anything with your. This is why I have created a Box.com account for you for free, I will post there. You will upload it there. If you have it electronically, you can send it. You can upload it to this site.
Yeah.
Snap a picture on your phone, box.com on your phone, upload it right in there. There is no need for, you should not be emailing. It's taking a very long time. I'm hitting them. I yell at them. I'm like, don't ever send me anything like this.
I just tell it's like sending your social number on a postcard through the mail.
Right, right.
I say,
that's a good analogy.
You'll know when somebody from the Russians opened up 17 credit cards in your name, you know.
I know,
Can't
and
figure
it's like,
out why.
Yeah, and this whole, I know it's a little off topic, but I know you had mentioned it before. This whole Facebook thing. So all these quizzes that, you take, you want to know when I'm going to die? And what I'm going to die from? Click here, and we'll tell you.
Say hello to funeral homes.
Giving them permission to access your Facebook and all of your data.
And everything that you have
and
on
everything. But not only that, they're also saying your friends can see this stuff. That's what people don't understand. But and maybe we can do this another time, but I can show you how to fix that on Facebook with settings so that you don't have that problem.
Yeah, and you'll probably wonder why you.
That's wonderful, Mischa. We'll do that. We'll have a Mischa webinar with Facebook and security settings. Yes.
That's funny.
Yeah, you'll probably wonder why you're getting all these solicitations for funeral discounts and cremation specials.
No kidding. My sister is notorious for doing it.
I mean, thanks.
She's always answering these quizzes and stuff, and I'm like. And then the one that's the kicker, that one that everybody's passing around. Oh, tell us all your favorite stuff.
Oh yeah, right.
Okay, those are the things you use for security questions. Why are you?
I want to switch before we end.
What's your dog's name?
Exactly.
I wanted to talk about CPA accountants and accountant's copy versus QBox. And Linda, you have someone that you want to switch from using the accountant's copy to QBox very desperately.
Yes. Well, and it's going to be a little bit tricky because this is a client of mine that has QuickBooks on the server with actually File Manager, I believe, or maybe even will load a second copy of QuickBooks on the computer that's being used as a server. It's not really a server, but it's another computer, and it's where the data file resides. And then it links to 4 other computer stations where people actually do data entry and reports and all of that. And so we're going to have 4 QuickBooks Premier, but the data goes on the server. Well, the woman who we gave her an accountant's copy before, and I told her it's really important that if you're going to take an accountant's copy, you need to get it back to us within a week of taking it, because there's so many things we are not allowed to do. We can't add something to a list. We can't delete anything from a list, and on and on and on. So when she took it, somehow she managed to change the name of the accountant's copy. And I'm not sure why, but you get a lot of messages. And when I tried to import her changes, I could not import her changes because the name of the accountant's copy was different from where we took it, what the name of the file she took it from. I think what I finally did was I just restored her version. I'm not even, or I sent her a new copy and she had to do the changes again and we had to bring them back in. But QBox, you actually are entering the real data file. You're just doing it at a time when other people don't have it open.
Right, absolutely.
Everything. If you need to enter a journal entry to make some kind of a correction, you do it right there in the real data file. And it's very simple. It works really seamlessly. I cannot recommend any app more highly than
I lost you, Linda.
She's muted.
I hit the mute. Who knows? My phone, my computer mutes, my phone mutes. You know, so you just look at it the wrong way and it goes.
So I do have a client that the accountant takes the accountant's copy and sends them back. And what I do for this client is the reconciliations. That's all I do for them. Reconciliation. So the accountant takes the accountant's copy the beginning of January for the prior period, and I continue on with my reconciliations.
Okay, good.
He sends back the accountant's copy, and the reconciliations are undone. I thought it was just me, but the accountant actually called me, and he said, I had someone complaining that these reconciliations are being undone. I said, well, they are. They are. And I
keep it 4 months. That's 4 months of reconciliations. You got to go back and re-reconcile.
Absolutely, absolutely. However, having reconciled them once, all of the transactions are there. It's not so hard to do it a second time, even if there are pages involved in the statements.
Yes.
So, you know, I just re-reconciled them. I didn't say anything. I didn't make a big deal. And I asked them, I said, you know, you can solve this problem with QBox. Still a no-go. Still does not want to do it. I had another client that I had set up. Well, I actually set them up with QBO. And they went to their accountant, and their accountant told them, oh, QBO is just not ready. It cannot do all the stuff that you need to do. You need to be on desktop. So I told them, if you need to be on desktop and I am going to work on your books, we need QBox. Just simple as that. That's just my way of working. And if you want to work with me, that's how we have to do it. So I set them up on QBox, and I worked with them. And my consulting with them was really just to get their book started and to start their business. And they really grew very, very fast to the point where they needed an actual bookkeeper to come in every day. So, and that was fine. That was fine. At that point, you know, I'm like, okay, I'm passing everything over to the bookkeeper. And they continued on with their QBox and continue to have their QBox and use it as like a backup. They use it directly for backup. Versions. Yes, in case anything happens, they don't have to do this or remember or anything like that. They're using QBox like Carbon, just for the backup surface. And the accountant still does not want to use QBox. That particular accountant is still doing the accountant's copy and sending them back, even though they do have QBox. So you can lead a horse to water, can't make them drink.
Right.
Try a 2x4.
Well, now what's interesting though is I spoke with Chris and Allison and TS at QBox, and they said it used to be when you had 4 users attached to a server in a local area network, they would only put QBox on the server. But now they actually put it on every single computer. And so I'm a little concerned about putting it on, that it might be tricky, but I'm going to set it up because they're going to be, I just talked to Sarah about getting the price on 2018 Premiere, and we're going to be installing 2018 Premiere on everything. And it seems to me it'd be a good time to install the QBox at the same
and get them used to it. And you know that you can, that if there is somebody that opens QuickBooks every day, you can set that to automatically lock, so they don't even have a choice. They just open QuickBooks the way they normally do, and they don't even get that little question, do you want to lock it?
No, and that's important.
It automatically locks.
Just automatically locks.
That helps too.
It does.
Well, a lot of CPAs that aren't exactly tech literate, and they're very risk adverse, and they don't like making changes. And if you're dealing with somebody that's 5 years from retirement, you probably want to think about dealing with somebody who's a little more attuned to what's going on. I mean, I just can't imagine anybody that understands QBox, understands the accounts copy, would not see the obvious advantages of QBox.
But Dennis, it also has to do with the not just the CPA, but the clients. Because I know CPAs who are reluctant to do anything because they're dealing with older clients who
that's true.
Still bring them shoeboxes of receipts.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I mean, I know a CPA who is not using QuickBooks Accountant, but is using QuickBooks Pro or Premier to manage their client stuff.
Well, on my website,
there's so much in the account.
And I'm like, but you do realize there's so much more you can do with the accountant's copy, because you could do all these things. And
you have accountant's tools.
They're getting ready to retire, and it's like, I don't want to learn something new.
That's true. Yeah.
So
actually, on my website,
they're charging by the hour, so they make more money.
Mm-hmm.
So
I know on my website, I'm trying to screen people out. I've got on my About section, I talk about being a cloud accountant.
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping that people will self-screen. I mean, that's what I tell them. When they call me up for possible engagement, I tell them right up front that this is the way I work, and if you're not comfortable with it,
Okay.
I put people on QBox. Remember, I had that company, the like $15 million a year company that had been using Quicken.
Oh, yes.
Years. I took them to QuickBooks because QuickBooks is similar. And they went on Premier, and they went on Premier Manufacturing and Wholesale, and I put them all on QBox, and it was the only way. Otherwise, they were going to have to double and triple enter data, which is what they had been doing. And they were all in their late 60s, early 70s, and they did not have any problems with
Nice.
it. So
nice.
So
nice.
I reassured them over and over again. I said, it's the only way to do what you guys need to do. So you have to trust me on this. And they did. So that was nice.
And a little bit of guidance went a long way with them, I'm sure.
It did. So
last question for you. Has anybody heard of Zelle payments? Has anybody heard?
Isn't that Zelle, isn't it with Bank of America?
Zelle is with a lot of different banks, not all banks. It's a new payment system, and I just inquired about it today because I was looking at pricing. And if you use your mobile app, then it's free.
Yeah, I think let me see, I signed up for it. Let me look at it. Yeah, I have it. The thing it won't do, it won't connect to my business bank account.
So I think it's personal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. It's for personal.
You can't. Well, I think it's certain banks too. So like my bank doesn't work with it, but if I was to use the personal bank I keep my business bank separate from my personal bank, so two
Good
separate
for
institutions. So I bet you if I had like a business checking account with Bank of America, let's say, then I think it would probably work, but it won't work with
your other bank. Well, I just called them up and I asked them, and they told me that there are banks that they have that they work with, and all of the banks have their own agreements, but you can still use Zelle as the mobile app. You can download it to Samsung and you can download it to Apple, but you have to have like a MasterCard debit card to your bank account.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
so
got it on here. Yeah.
Got it. How long does it take before the money moves? Because I've tried a number.
They say a day. I mean, the first time they say up to 5 days, and then they say a day, and for free. I don't think that it would work for business, and you certainly, oh my gosh, do not. Because it has to be attached to a mobile phone. If you're a business owner, it would work. You certainly would not want your employees to have that sort of access to your bank account.
No. Yeah.
You find it empty pretty quick.
Absolutely.
Some unauthorized raises.
Right. But not only do you need the Zelle account, the person you're sending it to needs one also.
Ah, got it.
So, and they can receive money even if their bank does not use the Zelle. They just have to download the app on their phone and set it up and have like a debit card that you use to set it up. So I haven't done this. I'm planning on doing it within the next week, but I imagine that they're using a debit card number rather than the routing number of the bank account.
Could be, I don't know.
It sounds super convenient, super easy, but super dangerous.
Yeah, what happens if someone
phone, if someone, you know,
get your debit card number? That could be pretty unexciting.
And a debit card number, exactly. I tell people get credit cards and not to use their debit. So I was just curious if anyone had any experience with it yet. I'll be looking into it, and you know, I'll let you know.
Great. Sounds good.
All righty. Well, we are out of time.
We are.
So see you all next week. Same time, same place.
Yep.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.